Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. I am fine over here. My name is Japheth and this is Verified. So welcome back, and in today's video we shall see how we can fill in the DS-260 form. And if you're new, please consider subscribing because I need your support. And if you're a returning one, I say thank you and let's continue together. So let's dive into the video. So go to your browser and type this: submit your immigrant visa and alien registration application. Then click on it. When you click on it, then this page will appear in the state.gov. Then you scroll down, and when you scroll down you get this text here, and in this text you have this clickable link here, form DS-260. So when you hover over it, then click on it, and it will bring you to this page with a list of forms. Then you go to the second last, that is DS-260 online immigrant visa and alien registration application. So we are going to click on this, and when you do so, then this page appears, and then when you click continue, and on the next page you'll find this text. Make sure you read it through, and then down below here you have to accept the terms and condition, and also input your you input your case number in full, and then you click continue. So you accept the terms and condition, insert your case number, and then click continue. When you click on the continue icon, then a new page will come, and that page will as well require you to enter your case number. Then there's a place to enter your invoice number, and that invoice number is always on the first notification letter just besides the case number. After that, you will be required to enter your surnames and the date of birth, and you click continue. And when you click continue, then you will come to this page, the page that is written personal information 1. This is the page that will emerge. Therefore, in this personal information 1 page, you'll be required to fill in this. Remember, filling in the DS-260, you are filling it on the website page. That is, you are doing it on the website page, and therefore it will be done bit by bit. And down below there will be a button saying continue. So the first bit will contain this. You'll be required to insert your surname here, then followed by the given names. For example, if you're called Wahome John Mushiri, then Wahome is the family name. You'll put here, then John Mushiri here. And then if you have your name in your local language, then you are supposed to insert it here. But if you do not, you check this box here, and then you proceed. Have you ever used other names? If you've ever used other names, indicate yes, and those names you include them here. But if you have never used some, then check on this no box. Then about your gender, you insert either male or female, and then the current marital status. Currently, are you married or not? When you are applying for the DV lottery, did you insert that you are married? So if you inserted you are married, consider saying here that you're married, and the spouse that you entered there, her details or his details, you need it in here. So you indicate your current marital status, and then you will fill in your date of birth and the place of birth. So the date of birth, you insert it here using this format: day, month, and then the year. Then the town of birth or the city of birth or the village of birth, and then the province where that city is located, and the country of your birth. And then there will be a button here that you will click that will say continue, and when you click on it, this is what appears: personal information 2. And in this personal information 2 form, you are required to fill first your country of nationality, the country where you were born. If it is Tanzania, you say Tanzania. If it's Ghana, you say Ghana. If it's Yemen, you say Yemen, and so on. Then followed by that, you provide the information on your travel document. This is the passport document. So the type here will be definitely be passport, and then the document ID is the passport number. You insert it in here, and then followed by that is the country that issued you the passport. The country that gave you the passport or the country where you applied the passport from is the country that you will fill it in here. And then the issuance date, the date you got your you applied for your passport, and the expiration date. These dates are on your passport document, so insert them in this format. And then do you hold or have you held a nationality other than the one you have indicated above? So if you have another nationality, or you ever had another nationality, make sure you indicate it here, yes, and you give the details of that country here. So the name of the country and the passport, if you had of that country, you put it in here. But if you have no other nationality, or you have never had any other nationality, you click on no. And if you have several nationalities, then you add the others by clicking add another. And after that, you click a continue button that will be down here, and when you click on it, it will bring this page. It is present and previous address. Now this covers all the places that you've ever lived in. Your current one, starting with that, and then you'll go to your previous one. So what is your current address? The place you're living now. What box do you use? What address do you use? That's what you're putting here, your current location address. And you put your street, then your city or your town, then the province or the state or the county, and then the postal code zip of that place, and the country where that place is, and when did you start living here. So you put the date you came to this, that is the month and the year when you came to this current address. I hope you are together. And then after that, what are your previous addresses? Your previous addresses, beginning with the latest one, going backwards, you fill in this area. So have you lived anywhere else? Have you lived anywhere else other than this address since the age of 16? If yes, then fill that in here. That address, previous address, the city, the state, the province, the zip code, the country, the time you started living there, and the time you moved out of that place, to fill it in there. And you add many others if you did. Still on the present and the previous address information, you are supposed to put your primary phone number. This is the number that you're using currently. If you have a secondary one or another one, you insert it on the secondary phone. And if you have a workplace phone number as well, you insert it here. But if you do not, check on these two buttons. Have you used any other telephone number during the last 5 years? This is the question. If you had other lines or other phone numbers before you obtained this current one, please indicate here yes, and insert the information here down below here. Insert all those numbers here. You add another one, you insert the next. If you have several numbers, click add another and add all of them. So be honest and answer that question correctly. After giving your phone information, then you give your email address information. So note this email that we'll use here, make sure it is the same email that you used to apply the DV lottery. The email that you inserted when you are applying for the DV lottery, use the same email, because it's the same email that they will communicate to you using. Have you used any other email address during the last 5 years? If you've done so, click yes and insert that email here. And if there are several, click add another and add. But if not, just check this box on no. Then you'll click a continuation button that will be here, and then this other page will come to the front. It is now about filling your social media. Every social media that you have, you make sure you indicate. If you have an account with Facebook, make sure you do so. So here's your first media, maybe Facebook. You say Facebook here, and then what is your Facebook account? Your Facebook account, you place it in here. You go to the next one. I have Twitter account, say Twitter, and then on this second one you insert your Twitter account, and you proceed so on. Instagram here, for example, and then here what is your Instagram account, and if other more, you use add another and add them in there. Then if you have any other form of social media application that you've used to share images, photos, and content of that nature, the videos, in the last 5 years, then insert them here. So say yes, I have, and I've used this application to send these videos, to send photos, and to say this. So this is the app I've been using for sharing my media. So you make sure you indicate it here and you give the information here. So we proceed, and then a button will appear, will be here indicating continue. You click it and then it brings you to the next page. It's now about mailing and permanent address information. Sorry. This part is as well very important, just as the previous parts. So this section, in this section, you'll have to fill in your addresses. First of all, beginning with your current address, and then later on your permanent address. That is the address that you use when you are in the United States. That is it. Now, what is your mailing address? Is your mailing address the same as the present address? So this present address, the address that you filled on the earlier pages, they are asking you, is it the same? And if it's the same, you just say yes. And when you click yes, they will use the same address that you filled on the earlier pages. But if no, you click no, and then you provide that alternative address. And then after providing the address, you continue now. This is important now. Permanent address. So the permanent address, this is the address that your host gave you to use. So remember, after winning or realizing you've won the green card, you are supposed to look for a host. And this host, the purpose, the principal role that the host plays is by providing you an address to which your details, your documents will be sent immediately you land in the United States. So the host's address. So what is the name of the person? which state does he or she lives in, and then which city does the host lives in the United States, and then which state, and then what is the zip code, and also their phone number. So in here, I repeat, you're filling the address of your host. So there will be a button here that you will click on saying continue, and this new page will emerge. Mailing and permanent address continued. Is this the address where you want your permanent residence card, green card, be mailed? So they are asking of the address that you filled, the address of your host. Do you want your documents to go to the same address? Then if yes, of which I know it is yes, you click yes. But if you're thinking of an alternative address in the United States, then you can click no, I don't want to use the permanent residence to receive my green card, and then you give the new address that you have, which is in the United States. So it is a United States address, but I know many use the host's address to receive their green card, so I hope it's the same case with you. So you click yes, and then you proceed. Then there will be a button down here saying continue. You just click on it, and then you go on. This page will emerge. Family information. Now, what about family information? The first thing they want to know is about your father's credentials, your father's information, and you insert his surname followed by the other names, the date of his birth, the city of his birth, the state or the province, and the country. And then, is your father still alive? Is your father still living? You say yes if yes. But if no, you click no, and then you provide the year of death. If yes, then you proceed to give the information about your father regarding the address. So you give the address of the father in this block, and then you'll click continue down here, and then this page of the information regarding your mother will appear. The same way you filled your father's credentials, you also fill in here your mother's credential, her first name, that is the family name, and then followed by the other names. So the date of birth, and then the place of birth of your mother, and then is she still living? If yes, you say yes, and if no, you check on this no, and you provide the year she died. And then if yes, you proceed to provide her address down below here. After you have filled the details of your mother, you click the button here that will be saying continue, and then this page will emerge. Now this is about yourself and your derivatives, those people that you filled in your application as you are applying for the DV lottery. So what is the first information? What is your current or who is your current spouse? If you indicated you're married, who is your current spouse? So your current spouse, you give her surnames or his surnames, and you give the other names here, and the date of birth of your spouse, and then the place of birth, where was she or he born, and then the state, province, and the country of origin. And then you give the spouse's address, and then if you have otherwise, if it is other, then you provide this information. If the address is another one, you provide the following information. If your wife is a resident of the United States or the UK or Ghana or South Africa or whichever country, you give the address here in here. I hope we are clear up to that point. Then after giving that, you click continue down below here. A button will be here, and then you'll come to this other page about the spouse as well. What is his or her occupation? You give it in here. If she or he is a businessman or a businesswoman, you just say it here. If he or she is just a house person, then you indicate here not employed, and then you explain here that he or she is not employed, he just remains at home because of this and this. That is it. And then down here you indicate the date of your marriage and the place where you got married, the date and the place where you got married, and the country as well. And then, is your spouse immigrating with you? Are you intending to relocate with your spouse? That is the question here. If yes, of which many is yes, then you click yes. But for those few who intend to leave their spouses behind for a short time and then they will join them later on, they will click no. And on this other part, if no, if is your spouse immigrating to the US at the later date to join you, then you say yes. So if you're moving with her immediately, you are relocating, you say yes. But if you are intending to go first and then she or he will follow you later, you say no, and then you click yes, they will join me later. Then you click continue, and then this page comes. Do you have any previous spouses? Were you married previously before you met your current wife or your current husband? If so, you indicate yes and provide their information in full in this box here. But if you did not, you've never have had any, then you click no, and then you proceed. So fill in the information of all the spouses that you met, and then you provide what caused your termination. How was your marriage terminated? Was it legally? So you provide it here. So the date you got married to the previous wife or previous husband, and the date in which you were separated, and then how were you separated? How was it terminated? You provide the information there. If other, explain how. And then you insert the current where your marriage was terminated. So it is important. In this, you provide your previous spouse, and then you provide their details here, their date of birth, and the date which you got married, and the date which your marriage was terminated, and the reason or how your marriage was terminated. How your marriage was terminated, and if otherwise, then you explain, and you also indicate the country of your marriage termination, and then you click continue, and then this page emerges. Family information. Now it is your kids, all the kids that you have, be it by birth or by legal procedures, you indicate them here. But note, you should not include a child that you're living with but you have not legally adopted, and he or she is not your own child. That point is clear, I hope. So here you give your information of your children. Do you have any children? If yes, you say yes. If yes, then provide this, the number of children. How many children do you have? And remember, this is what you filled when you were applying for the DV lottery. And then you provide the details of your children one by one. So first child, you insert the details, the surnames, the given names, the date of birth, the city where he or she was born, the province, the country, and does this child live with you? If yes, if you leave their children then indicate yes, I live with this child. And if no, you provide the address in which he or she is living. And then you add all the other children, child number 2, child number 3, and so on. And is still under the child details. Are you intending to immigrate with him or her? If yes, you say yes. But if no, you want them to follow you afterwards, then you say no here and you click yes here. But if at all you don't want to go with them, then say no and no. Then you click continue after filling the children's details, and then this page comes. Travel information. This is about how many times you visited US, how many times you've been given the visa, and so on. But if you've never, you just say no. Have you ever been to the United States? Say no. But if you have once been there, say yes, because they have the information. So if yes, then provide this information. Were you issued with an alien registration number by the Department of Homeland? If yes, you say yes, and you provide the number here. But if you do not know, you say you do not know. And if you have never then been given the registration number, then say no. So, and then you provide the date you arrived and the length of stay. That is for the first time you visited. The second time you visited, the date you arrived and the length of stay. The third time and the fourth, and so on. So you state when you arrived and when you moved out of the place, how long you stayed there, and then you click continue after filling your information of visiting US, and then this page comes, still on the US travel information. Have you ever been issued a United States visa? So, for example, if you are a student, you studied in the United States, definitely you are given the student visa. So you'll say yes, I was issued with the visa. If it's a visit visa, also you indicate, and you give the dates when it was issued, and then you clarify what type of visa is that. Was it a student visa? Was it a visit visa? Was it a work visa? You indicate. And then if you do not know, you say you do not know. There's no problem with that. And then you give the visa number. Still under the visa information, you have this question. Has any of your US visas ever been stolen or lost? If you've ever lost one of those issued visas, you say you lost them. If they were stolen, you say they were stolen. And if yes, enter the visa, enter the year the visa was stolen or lost, and explain. And then we have this other question. Has any of your US visas ever been cancelled? So if you happen to be in the United States and you had the visa and the visa was cancelled owing to some issues, you indicate yes, my visa was cancelled because of this and this. My visa was revoked because of this and this, and you explain properly. Then after that, now, have you ever been refused US visa, been refused admission to the United States, or withdrawn your application for admission at the point of entry? Have you ever done either of these three things? If you've ever done, you say yes and you explain why. But if no, you click no and you proceed. You press continue, and this page emerges. Now it is on the work, education, and training information. So what is your primary occupation? What are you doing for life? That's what you're putting here. And if you're not employed, you say not employed. Then present employer or school name, you insert it there. Then you insert the address of the employer or the school in which you are in, and you give the details of the address of the institution or the workplace. And if the occupation is other, that is, if you indicated here other, then you come down here and you specify what is it. Maybe you're not employed, maybe you own your own business, maybe you run your farm, so you just say I'm not, you say other, and then you come down here, you explain that I am a farmer, I'm doing this in place. Then you click continue, and this page emerges, still on work, education and training information. Do you have other occupations? So do you have a secondary occupation? If you have another occupation apart from the primary occupation, then you are supposed to click here yes, and then you provide the details of that occupation. So if you are employed as a plumber, and then you have a secondary occupation, maybe as an electrician, so you'll say I'm a plumber on the primary, and on this on this other occupation you fill electrician, and then you give the details here, the employer, the school, and the address of the second employer. So this part is for the other occupation that you do have. Then if you have the primary occupation but you don't have a secondary occupation, but you do have some other things that you do, then you indicate up above here that it is others here. And if you indicate other, then you come here and you specify what kind of thing is that you are doing. And then, in which occupation do you intend to work in the United States? So of the indicated occupations, the occupation that you did, do you intend to proceed with one of them? If you do, you say here yes. I mean, you indicate what you want to do. If your primary occupation is plumber, then you indicate here plumber. It means that you want to continue the plumbing in the United States after you relocate. And then if you don't intend to continue that, you indicate here others, and when you indicate other, then you come and specify about the other. I hope I'm clear. Then you click continue, and then still on work, education and training information, then you provide here, were you previously employed? So before you have your current occupation, were you previously employed? And that is the information they are seeking here. So you provide your previous employment status prior to you getting your current occupation. So you provide all the information, and here you include even the supervisor's name, you include the job title that you used to have in that previous job, and then the date you began that job and the date you terminated that job. So you're providing all the information, the address of the occupation, and you provide the supervisor's name, and then the job title and the phone number, and then the date in which you are employed in that previous occupation and the date you terminated it. After that, you press continue, and then this page, still on work, education and training information, appears. Have you attended any educational institution at a secondary level and or above? Yes, if yes, you say yes. If you have a degree or a diploma, then you indicate yes, and you provide the information. How many number of institutions did you attend? You indicate here. If you have a degree, a diploma and a degree, those are two institutions, and then and so on. So you provide the information in here, and you start with the first one, the highest one. So you say the name of the institution, the address, and where it is located, and the course that you took under that institution, and what kind of certificate did you attain? Was it a diploma? Was it a degree? Was it a certificate? You indicate all that information in here. So the date of attendance, when you started the course and when you ended the course, and you include all other schools that you attended. After including, then you click continue and this page will appear. Have you traveled to any countries or regions within the last 5 years? So have you traveled outside the country where you are now in the last 5 years? If yes, you say yes, and you provide the information of that country. Which country did you go to, or which region did you go to? And then after filling that, have you ever served as a military personnel? Have you ever served in the military? If yes, you say yes, and you provide all this information: name of the country, branch of service, rank and position, military specialty, date of service, when you started and when you ended, and specify. So that is if you ever served in the military. Have you belonged to or contributed to or worked for any professional, social and charitable organization? If you have ever participated in, for example, the Red Cross, a charitable organization, then you indicate here yes, and then you indicate which organization was that, and then you click continue. And still under work, education and training information, do you have any specialized skills or training as firearms, explosive, nuclear, biological and chemical experience? If yes, you say yes and you explain in which you are specialized, and then if no, you just say no. Have you ever served in, been a member of, or been involved in paramilitary unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, guerrilla group, or insurgent organization? If you've ever participated in these groups, you say yes, and you explain which you did participate in. Can you speak any other language apart from the local language? Apart from the native language, can you speak any other language? If yes, you say yes. So if your country speaks Yoruba, and then you've trained yourself English or French, then you indicate I can, and you indicate the languages: French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, or German, or whatever in here. And then you click continue, and then this page appear. The petitioner information. So about the petitioner information, this is in case you are applying for immigration visa because you have a relative living in the United States and wants you to relocate to live with him or her. She wants to host you and help you obtain the green card visa. So if you have someone who has recommended that you be issued the immigration visa, then this is the petitioner, and then you'll fill the information here. But if not that way, if maybe it's a DV lottery, then you don't have to fill this part because you don't have a petitioner. But if you do, you fill all these details, you provide who your petitioner is, and he or she might be an individual or an employer. So that is it. But if you don't have to fill this part. And then after that, and you click continue. Now this comes to a very critical stage. This part that we've entered in will scrutinize, will try to investigate your background security information and your medical information. So security information and medical information, and there are several questions as we shall see here in a bit about your background check. And the first one is, do you have any communicable disease like TB? If no, you say no. if yes, you just say yes. And then, do you have documentation to establish that you have received vaccinations according with the US law? So these are the vaccinations that the United States government requires every immigrant to have. So if you have fulfilled them, then you say yes, but if not, say no. Because when you go for your medical examination, you'll have to undergo through the vaccination processes and you'll be good to relocate. Do you have mental or physical disorder that poses or likely to pose a threat to the safety and welfare of yourself and others? So if you do have that, please say yes, and not if you don't have. So this is the medical information, the health information. Are you or have you ever been a drug abuser? So if you've ever used drugs in the past, say yes, because they'll have to check it. But if you've never, just say no, because you've never. That is true, that's a fact. Then we have this criminal investigation. This has many questions. Many questions. Have you ever been arrested or convicted for any offense or crime, even though subject to pardon or amnesty? So if you have ever been convicted and pardoned, or you've not, or the amnesty or other similar action, then say yes. But if not, say no. Have you ever violated or engaged in conspiracy to violate any law related to controlled substances? So if you've ever committed this crime, say yes. But if not, just indicate no. Are you the spouse, son or daughter of an individual who has violated and controlled substance trafficking law and have knowingly benefited from the trafficking activities in the past years? Are you such a person? Say yes. If not, say no. And then, are you coming to the United States to engage in prostitution or unlawful commercialized vice, or have you been engaged in prostitution or procuring prostitutes within the last 10 years? If yes, say yes. But if no, just say no. Then we come to this. Have you ever been involved in, or do you seek to engage in money laundering? Hey, that is very funny. Are you? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Then the other security checkup. Have you ever committed or conspired to commit a human trafficking offense in the United States or outside the United States? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Have you ever knowingly aided, abetted, assisted, or colluded with an individual who has been identified by the President of the United States as a person who plays the significant role in a severe form of trafficking in persons? Say yes if you are, but if you are not, say no. This is the security checkup that you find the DS-260 that we are filling now. Are you the spouse, son, or daughter of an individual who has committed or conspired to commit a human trafficking offense in the United States or outside the United States, and have you within the last 5 years knowingly benefited from the trafficking activities? If you have, you say yes, but if you're not, just say no. And then we continue. Do you seek to engage in espionage, sabotage, export control violation, or other any illegal activity while in the United States? If yes, say yes, I'm intending to do that. But if no, say no. Do you seek to engage in terrorist activity while in the United States? And have you ever engaged in terrorist activities? So if you have engaged and if you're intending, then say yes openly. But if no, indicate no. Have you ever, or do you intend to provide financial assistance or other support to terrorist organization? If yes, say yes, but if no, say no. Are you a member of the or representative of the terrorist organization? If yes, say yes. If no, you just say no. Then this other question here. Are you the spouse, son, or daughter of an individual who has engaged in terrorist activity, including providing financial assistance or any other support to the terrorists or terrorist organization in the last 5 years? If you have, you say yes. but if you have not, you say no. Then we continue with the security examination. Have you ever ordered, incited, committed, assisted, or otherwise participated in genocide? Like the Rwanda genocide, were you a participant? If yes, say yes, or if no, you say no. Then, have you ever committed, ordered, incited, assisted, or otherwise participated in torture? Have you? If yes, say yes, but if no, just say no. Have you ever committed, ordered, incited, assisted, or otherwise participated in extrajudicial killings, political killings, or other acts of violence? Have you? If you have not, indicate no, but if yes, explain how you did it, or why you did it, or when you did it. Have you ever engaged in recruitment or the use of child soldier? No. If no, say no. If yes, say yes. Have you, while serving as a government official, been responsible for the directly carried out or any time particularly severe violation of regulations, freedom, religious freedom? If yes, say yes, or if no, then indicate no. Are you a member of or affiliated with the communist or other totalitarian party? If yes, say yes. If no, no. Have you ever directly or indirectly assisted or supported any of the groups in Colombia known as Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, National Liberation Army, or United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia? If yes, you say yes, but no, you say no. Have you ever, through abuse of governmental or political position, converted for personal gain, confiscated or expropriated property in foreign country to which the United States national had claim of ownership? If yes, you indicate yes, but if no, you say no. Are you spouse, minor child, or agent of an individual who has, through abuse of governmental political position, converted for personal gain, confiscated and expropriated property in foreign nation to which an United States nation had claimed ownership? If yes, say yes, or if no, say no. Have you ever been directly involved in the establishment or enforcement of population control, forcing a woman to undergo an abortion against her free choice, or a man and a woman to undergo sterilization against his or her free choice? If yes, you say yes. If no, you say no. And then we continue with the security check. Have you ever disclosed or trafficked in confidential U.S. business information obtained in the connection with U.S. participation in the Chemical Weapons Convention? No, if no. Yes, if yes. Are you the spouse, minor child, agent of an individual who has disclosed or trafficking in confidential United States business information obtained in connection with U.S. participation in Chemical Weapons Convention? If yes, yes. If no, no. Have you ever sought to obtain or assist other to obtain a visa entry into the United States or other United States immigration benefits by fraud and willfully mispresented or other mispresentation or other unlawful means? If yes, yes. If no, no. Have you ever been removed or deported from any country? If you have ever been deported, then say yes. But if not, just say no. Have you ever been the subject of removal or deportation hearing? Have you ever been that? If yes, say yes. If no, no. Have you failed to attend a hearing or removability or inadmissibility within the last 5 years? If yes, say no. If yes, say yes, and if no, say no. Have you ever been unlawfully present, overstayed the amount of time granted by an immigration official, and otherwise violated the terms of the United States visa? If you have overstayed, then there's no need to lie. Say yes, and if not, say no. Are you subject to a civil penalty under INA 274C? If you are, it's good to say yes, and if no, say no. Have you ever been ordered removed from the United States during the last 5 years? If you have, say yes, And if not, say no. Have you been ordered or removed from the United States for a second time within the last 20 years? Say yes if yes, and say no if no. Then we continue with this. Have you ever been unlawfully present or ordered removed from the United States during the last 10 years? If you have, then say yes, but if not, no. Have you ever been convicted or aggravated felony and been ordered removed from the United States? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Then we have this. Have you ever been unlawfully present in the United States for more than 180 days, but no more than a year, and have voluntarily departed the United States within the last 3 years? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Have you ever been unlawfully present in the United States for more than 1 year or more than 1 year in the aggregate at any time during the last 10 years? Say yes if yes, and if no, you indicate no. And then we come to these almost the last questions. Have you ever been withheld custody of the United States? Oh, this is funny. Have you ever withheld custody of a US citizen child outside of the United States from a person granted legal custody by the United States court? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Have you ever intentionally assisted another person in withholding custody of a US citizen child and the United States from a person granted legal custody by the US court? If yes, say yes. If no, it is definitely no. Have you voted in the United States in violation of a law or regulation? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Have you ever renounced United States citizenship for the purpose of avoiding taxation? If yes, say yes. If no, no. Have you attended a public elementary school or public secondary school on a student F status after November 30th, 1996 without reimbursing the school? If you have done that, say yes, but if not, say no. Do you seek to enter the United States for the purpose of performing skilled or unskilled labor, but you have not yet been certified by the Secretary of Labor? If yes, say yes. If no, you just say no. Are you a graduate of a foreign medical school seeking to perform medical services in the United States but have not yet passed the National Board of Medical Examiners examination or its equivalent? If yes, say yes. If no, it is no. Then here, are you a healthcare worker seeking to perform such work in the United States but have not yet received certification from the Commission of Graduates of Foreign Nursing School or from an equivalent approved independent credentialing organization? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Are you permanently ineligible for US citizenship? Are you permanently ineligible for US citizenship? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. Have you ever departed the United States in order to evade military service during a time of war? If yes, you say yes. If no, no. Are you coming to the United States to practice polygamy? If you're intending to marry more than one wife, oh, then indicate yes. But if no, just say no. Are you a former exchange visitor, J, who has not yet fulfilled the 2-year foreign resident requirement? If yes, yes. If no, no. Has the Secretary of Homeland Security of the United States ever determined that you knowingly made a frivolous application for asylum? If yes, yes. If no, no. Are you likely to become a public charge after you are admitted to the United States? If you intend to do so, yes, say yes. But if no, no. And then this other page, the final page, is about your social security number information. And this social security number information is very important, is very key for you obtaining jobs over there in the United States. So have you ever applied for social security number before? Have you ever applied for one? If yes, yes. If no, no. And if yes, you provide this information. Were you issued a number? Were you issued a number when you sought for that number? Were you issued? If yes, say yes, and you provide the number down here. But if no, you just say no. Did you need a new card issued? Or do you need a new card issue? So if you need a new card issue, in this case where you had requested for social security number, then indicate yes. And then there's this another, if no, provide the information below. So if you've never applied for a social security number in the United States and you indicated no, so you provide this. Do you want the Social Security Administration to issue a social security number and a card? Do you want them to give you? And the answer here should be 100% yes, because this social security number is the number that will help you in obtaining work positions. So definitely you need this number. So you indicate yes. The answer here should be yes, because you're relocating to the United States. And then another yes comes here. But let's first of all read this statement. Do you authorize disclosure of information from this form to the Department of Homeland Security, the Social Security Administration, and such other U.S. government agencies as may be required for the purpose of assigning you a Social Security number, SSN, and issuing you a Social Security card? And do you authorize the Social Security Administration to share your SSN with the Department of Homeland and Security? Definitely yes, because this facilitates the provision of your social security number. So let them disclose to the Homeland Security. So the answer here will be definitely yes if you're really moving to the United States. And that's the end of the questions and the examination. So after you filled answer these questions to the fullest, then you submit your form for further processing. So I hope guys you've understood very well all the information that you'll find when filling the DS-260. And I just want to request you, if you are new, to please like the video and subscribe to this channel. And if you are returning one, I really appreciate you for helping me grow in this channel. Let's meet in the next video.